make me wise, and happiness has its own way of taking its sweet time. Love Gary Allan. Alright, so I wanted to touch on something that's been coming up lately. Why volunteer? Why volunteer? And not only has that been a big one lately, there's been a lot of us that did not originally contract to stay this long. Get into that. Some of us did not come here with a long life contract. We agreed to come in as a short life contract, right? It's kind of like a fast track, right? It's a contract where you die young. When I was 14, this is right before we moved to Virginia Beach, so it would have been about 97. I told my mother that I was going to die in a car accident before my 18th birthday. Right? Now, on my 18th birthday, now at the time I made that prediction, but I didn't take it very seriously at the time, right? I didn't take it very seriously at the time. And, life went on. Life went on. That was in New York when I made that prediction in 97, right before we moved to Virginia Beach, right? And fast forward a few years later, and 9/11's happened. There's a lot going on. We're at war. It was crazy times then for anybody who was around. Like I said, I was in Virginia Beach. It's the largest cluster of military bases in the world. And yeah, I was thinking of joining the military at that point. I was a very active person. I went to the clubs all the time. I roller skated down the boardwalk. I like to go, hiking and climbing and things like that. And the morning of my 18th birthday, I went to my job. How was I working? Wendy's. I was working at a Wendy's. And I went to my job and I got my paycheck, and we were going to the bank to cash the check. And we went to make a left-hand turn, and a woman ran a red light. And she smashed into me on the passenger side of the car. Right there. I immediately slammed over. My head broke the glass on the window. Then the airbag came out, smashed me up into the thing. We all got knocked around. I had my 2-year-old nephew in the back seat. I was out. I can't imagine I was out for more than a few minutes. I don't remember anything from it. I didn't have a whole ND vision or anything else like that to it. But when my boyfriend reached over to check on me, he grabbed me and he just shook my shoulder, and I woke up. I was knocked out to the point that I was checked out. I had checked out until he shook me awake. And then I popped back up, right? Popped back up gasping for air. And I genuinely feel that in that moment, I was asked, would you mind re-enlisting for another so many whatever years? Ooh, what? Do you want to change your short life contract? Would you mind staying a little bit? Since you volunteered, would you mind volunteering for a while longer? Cruel game to play, too. You know what I'm saying? Because at that point, you're kind of attached to your life, aren't you? Right? I told you, my 2-year-old nephew's sitting right there in the back seat. I'm telling you, them kids have saved my life more than anybody else in this world. And Yeah. And I know a lot of people who feel this way. It's like those were moments where you could have left and for some reason you chose to stay. Well, now, if you chose to stay, then you got to believe that there's a reason you chose to stay, right? If I would have checked out at 18, my kids wouldn't be here. I'd have never made it down to South Carolina. A lot of things wouldn't have gone any ways that they did. All right. Oh, that's way too much. That's right. All right, let's get a little reading here from Spirit to see what's going on in the ethers with this today. That's what I'm waking up in. Oh, I got, you're not a voice, you're just a ringing in my ear. And if I heard you, which I don't, I'm spoken for, I fear. One day we are going to melt the faces off the universe. It's life. You don't figure it out. You just climb on the back of the beast and ride. Oh no, you've pooped your shoe. The morning sun must have done something for me, because I bet I'd have gone the other way if you had called yesterday. When the student speaks, when the student is ready, the master appears, and the true master knows when to disappear. I just took a DNA test. Turns out I'm 100% that bitch. I've had a lot of prayers answered without sitting in a building, and I got, I'll be your huckleberry. I'm getting definitely a vibe of two separate energies here, right? Just the way that I've got this laying out. So I've got one person here with these two energies that this is the one. It's just like, I'm not going to listen to you. You're just a ringing in my ear. I'm not coming. I'm spoken for, right? It's life. It's life. You don't need to figure it out. Just climb up on the back of that beast and ride. And the morning sun must have done something to me, because I might have gone the other way if you had called yesterday. So like this is someone who's been reached out, or somebody's reaching out to them, and they're like, no, I just took 100%, just took a DNA test. Turns out I'm 100% that bitch, right? There's definitely an energy of someone who's over somebody else's shit on this one side, right? This person's over somebody else's shit. On this side, you got the one day we're going to melt the faces off the universe. This is a person who's like, yeah, sees it as a soul contract for sure. Oh no, you pooped your shoe. This is someone who intentionally has sabotaged themselves somehow, right? You weren't watching where you were going. Watch where you step. There's shit everywhere, right? And I say that a lot. That's really a metaphor. Like, that's actually a joke from the backyard because I have dogs. But it's really a metaphor, especially for social media, right? If you see a post you don't like and you allow it to upset you, and you go ahead and you start posting on it and commenting and complaining and everything else, that's you pooping your shoe. That's you not watching where you were stepping, and you're intentionally stepping in shit right now and allowing it to affect you. And now you got to scrape it off your shoe, right? Now you got to work to scrape it off your shoe, right? I got, when the student is ready, the master appears. A true master knows when to disappear, right? I get a lot of this. A lot of people will fall into this thing with the YouTubers or some sort of guru and things like that. Like, even thinking of Edgar Casey with the 1997 crew and stuff like that. Anybody in your life who is a master at anything, they will not solicit you to follow them. They don't need you to follow them, right? They're centered in who they are. Anybody who says you need them, that you need to listen to them, that you need to adhere to their beliefs in order to whatever your skills, no, that's not a true master. That's someone who wants to control you. It's a different type of master, right? Different type of master. That's someone who wants a slave, not a master of energy or anything like that. See what I'm saying? Right? Had a lot of prayers answered without sitting in a building. Like I said, that's breaking that mindset of organized religious beliefs and things like that. Organized beliefs, right? A lot of people have a lot of miracles and had nothing to do with, you know. I was saying that too, when you're working with all these different energies and things like that. Yeah, you got to be able to be fluid. You got to be able to change. You got to be able to, once upon a time, me and my friends, but we were kind of gothy in high school. We would have made fun of hippies and yoga and crystals and things like that, right? But as you grow, you evolve, you change, right? So the last card here is I'll Be Your Huckleberry. So I get a sense it's kind of two people that want to engage more than they are. Let's see what we got going on. Get a quick little story time. At 3D, 45D on this. Ooh, what do we got? What do we got? We got the letter and the fox. And this is interesting. We got the letter and the fox. The fox and the 9 of swords, 9 of clubs there. 9 of fire, 9 of rods. And we got the letter. The 7 of swords. I like how there's the fox and then there's the wolf. The big bad wolf. And the sly fox. Alright. So we'll read the fox first. The fox is the rule breaker, doing the unexpected and deception. The fox shown here is a representative of the trickster in the land of fairy tales. Rather than being from one specific tale, he is the wolf, the coyote, the imp who wants to play tricks on you. And when this card appears, someone isn't doing what he is supposed to do. Or maybe it is his rule to break the rules. While being deceived can seem like a bad thing, this card can have a good meaning. Fate is working in your favor, but don't expect all the rules to be followed when this redhead shows up. Be cautious before you accept any story as fact, and if you are given a new responsibility at work, it may not come with more money right away. Redheads are associated with this card, so pay special attention to anyone with auburn locks. They could be there to teach you a lesson in deception. A lesson in deception. Alright, let's see what the letter has to say with the big bad wolf over here. So we got the wolf in the letter story already. 7 of Swords, written exchanges, results, documents, messages, instructions, and mail. Little Red Riding Hood by Charles Perrault is a tale relating to communication. Red Riding Hood's mother has instructed her to bring a basket of treats for her grandmother and to stay on the path. But the wolf has slipped a letter into the basket as well. Unaware of the lupine's threat, just a few steps away, our heroine is stopped to pick some flowers. Her pause gives the wolf a chance to communicate with her. He tricks her into telling him where her grandmother lives, and when she finally made it to grandmother's cottage, Little Red Riding Hood knew something was wrong. The wolf had devoured the grandmother, and it eats Red Riding Hood too. The woodsman hears the wolf and quickly cuts him open to save both her, Red, and her grandmother. In this tale, as in many, the contents of the letter can affect the outcome of the story. In readings, the letter card can be representative of a written exchange of important information. When you see the letter, know that news of some sort is coming. Other meanings include getting documents or results back from a test. Good news or bad news, the letter needs to be read. Lesson in discernment there too. Lesson in discernment there. Somebody's got a vengeful spirit. Someone's got a vengeful spirit. Love and compassion. Ooh, what? Because the only thing that beats hate is love. Get one of I'm Not Tangled's oracle cards. Wow. Oh, well, now, right? Be mindful, use discernment when reading your letter. Look what I got here with the wolf. All right, there's definitely something in here. This is immortal. Venus and alliance is also seen in here. Gave this Venus alliance. But it's a wolf and it says trust. It's a wolf and it says trust. We also got wildness. Sometimes when something is wild and unpredictable, it makes it very hard to trust, right? There's a lot of growth happening right now, for sure. We'll get back to those in a little bit. Let's get some 3D, 4D, 5D on what's going on here. Got the Three of Cauldrons that just came out. So we definitely got a party card. Three of Cauldrons is all about community and coming together and having a good time. One more time. Sorry about the tappy bangs. Okay. Alrighty. Oh, anybody in the area for sure, South Carolina, right? In Port Royal area. The Zendent's going to be doing a lot this month, y'all. They got a whole lodge and drum circle that they're going to be doing on March 6th in the morning. We got the Spring Festival on the weekend of the 12th. Oh, I'm such a spaz. Such a spaz. My daughter's birthday's on the 15th, and I went ahead and well, they'll just come with me to the festival. That shall be where we do the stuffs. Take them out Friday night, and then they can help me on the festival day. Everybody loves my daughter up there. She's such a hustler. When we went to the first winter festival that we went to with her up there, I sent her out. She wanted to go look around. She's like, because I was going to pay her at the end of the day, and let her go buy some stuff for everybody for Christmas, once the day was done. And she's like, I just want to go look around so that I know what I want to get when I go around later, right? Da-da-da-da-da. That chick was walking around. Don't you know she came back with a whole bunch of stuff? She left with no monies and came back with stuff. Hustler, baby. Seems to be a knack in my family, right? We're good at manifesting stuff. That and just, they're really good people. It was little things like someone gave her a couple free greeting cards, hand-painted free greeting cards. One lady gave her a little pair of earrings. Oh, my seahorses that I wear all the time, those are from her. She got those for me for Christmas. So she went and got everybody their little Christmas presents for free, and then I gave her money at the end of the day, and she spent that all on herself. Love it. Kid cracks me up. All right, we definitely have a lot of moving on energy here. We got an 8 of Swords, King of Pentacles, Jack of Swords reversed, 4 of Swords reversed, and a 10 of Swords. Definitely getting the vibes, right? So we get the 8 of Swords. 8 of Swords, 8 of Clubs, right? That's that transition, change, movement energy, right? Right. Definitely, or some traveling, or space, or distance need to be had. I feel like there's somebody who's wearing a mask. I don't feel like they have let go of what they claim to, just with this Jack of Swords reversed here, right? So this is someone who wants to be in control. Definitely getting masculine energy here with the King of Pentacles. he likes to be the master of his domain, but he can end up coming off as an opinionated asshole, right? He can come off as a really big asshole, actually. The Jack of Swords reverse is he says mean things. He says mean things, right? Immature, mean things. And being a Jack, that's Knight too. That's somebody who uses that energy as a shield, right? They're masked in this energy, right? They mask they don't show none of their emotions. They're very masked. Even though they're paying attention, they're controlling. But they also use a shield of either they communicate poorly or they don't communicate at all, right? And definitely, like I said, you get the Eight of Swords, movement and change. I don't think they're recovered from something that they need to move on from. They're not recovered fully from it yet. This is definitely what I was just presenting on the 3D, okay? You get a sense that they haven't recovered from something from the past. They haven't fully moved on from it and let it go, right? I feel like, yeah, you're holding space, but there's a lot of burdens. Whoever this is has a lot of burdens, right? Because you get the 10 of rods here. So definitely there's someone that is non-communicative, or when they are communicative, they're very snappy and stuff like that. Give them space, right? Give them space. Hold space for them. And then just understand that they are carrying a ton of burdens. A ton of burdens, right? And that's that mask, right? The mask is what? I need to be in more control than I am. And the Jack of Swords reversed, I feel like, is what? I feel like this person hides a lot of burdens, too. They hide a lot of burdens. They hide their pain. They hide things that they can't escape from. Was the 40. See, now that was picking up on a masculine energy, right? On the 40 is picking up very much on a feminine vibe. All these cards are female, right? We got the High Priestess, right? And that's what I was saying about that 10 of Swords. So if that's you worrying about somebody else, right? You're trying to figure them out. Just understand in your endeavor to try to figure them out. Where did it go? That's definitely what I'm getting. Right? Seize into your own power and control here, right? Right? Don't worry about what they're worrying about, right? You're pouring your energy into the past too, mixing it like this spilled bowl. You know, these bowls are all spilt out. This one's spilling out, and you're just spilling your energy down here around it, right? Meanwhile, you could turn around. You got a whole galaxy in a bowl right here and a beautiful view of a beach and everything else. What beach or dunes? I just get a sense of it's wasting energy worrying about it, right? I get it, definitely. It's time for you to get out there, have fun. Energy, wanting to have fun. You get the Four of Cups here. And that's, once again, that's the overindulgence. You get the Five of Cups and the Four of Cups, right? It's just overindulging. Overindulging in things that aren't serving you. It could be overindulging in whatever type of distraction it is so that you don't have to think about it, right? It's looking at the spilled cups. See, this is giving the same thing, right? The Five of Cups is worried about the 3 spilled cups and not worried about the 2 cups that they still have, that 2 of Cups soul connection that they still have going on, right? To the point where, in this one, to the point where they're wasting that energy. They're almost breaking that bond, right? Need to focus on having fun, but you have to focus on not being overindulgent and not looking in the wrong directions, right? This card is representative of you're so busy looking at those 3 spilt cups, you can't see the universe trying to offer you this cup. There it is again, right behind you, trying to give it to you, trying to be like, here you go. Here you go. What? Nope. It's funny, you get the six of Wands here at the end, though. I feel like it's a back and forth. There's definitely a back and forth here. I do think that you have clarity enough to gain victory over this. You have clarity enough to gain victory over stop crying over spilt milk, right? Stop crying over spilt milk. Stop worrying about what other people are worrying about. Stop worrying about why other people are worrying about you. right? Stop worrying about why other people are worrying about you. It's a big freaking thing that I deal with a lot too. And with that revenge card, it's definitely an energy that has some play that's going on here. There's always going to be someone who will feel jaded by your success, right? There's always going to be someone who's jealous that you're getting somebody else's attention. There's always going to be someone who's, I know people who get mad, people who watch YouTubers too much, or people who are, online friends. Oh, you know what I'm saying? There's definitely some shady, jaded energy here, and it's talking about also don't focus on that. Don't focus on that and don't worry about that, because that's how you manifest it, right? All right. The 5D. The 5D is... All right. There is justice coming, right? Justice is playing out, right? There's things that are going on that are playing out, right? And I definitely get that with the messages and stuff like that, right? So if you're waiting for results and stuff like that, there's justice coming, right? There's stability coming on the way, right? I know you feel stuck right now, but towers are coming, right? And I'm not even so much getting this so much as a tower for you, especially if you've already if you've already experienced a tower lately, right? If everything feels like it's kind of falling apart and it's all going to shit and all your friendship groups are whatever and nothing's working out and blah, 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 right? If you're already going through that, then I feel like I feel like you're the one that's kind of sitting still and you're almost in your own little self-imprisonment because you're watching all these other towers going on, right? And also with that, oh no, you pooped your shoe card. This is one I had earlier, didn't it? Yeah. I had this 5 of Swords here at the end. Right? And I just get the sense, especially with everything that's going on in the world right now, this is where a spiritual healer, right? The healer, see he's got the red crosses, right? It's a medic, is running into battle waving swords. It's kind of counter to their general nature, right? And with the 2 of Swords and the 3 of Swords there, right? I get a strong sense of being mindful about third-party situations, especially if you're going to be running in, trying to swing swords or whatever, or jumping into somebody else's battle. Just be mindful who's actually calling the shots, right? It's this guy back here. Just be mindful of who's actually calling the shots, who's blowing the horn, who's calling people into battle. Are you listening to them or are you listening to yourself? Is what you're running into battle from, I get a strong sense of don't save people from towers. It sounds terrible, right? It says don't save people from towers they created for themselves. So you get a sense that some people get themselves so stuck up in a situation, right? Or imprison themselves with this 8 of Swords here, that sometimes, and this is for a lot of us, you get so stuck in your little comfy zone that the only way the universe is going to get you out of it is by completely flipping your life upside down. Right? I want to see something. All right, so we got the fox, the redhead. What message do we have about that fox and redhead? All right. So the fox and the redhead definitely have that King of Pentacle energy, right? And into the sun. This is someone who's coming into a season, right? All right, so what about the wolf? The other energy is the wolf. What is with the wolf? Before I get into these last cards. this is almost as two masculine energies. All right. The stories are referring to two masculine energies, and I'm guessing if you're the feminine watching this, you're Little Red Riding Hood. Congratulate. All right, so we got the King of Pentacles is coming into their season, right? So stop worrying about what they're doing on the 3D. Let them do what they're doing. They're coming into a season of warmth, vitality, energy, love. They're coming into an abundant season, right? Energy is building, it's growing. I get a lot of people don't ever forget about seasonal depression, right? It does happen, y'all. Lack of sun does give you seasonal depression. We need it, right? This other energy, though, the wolf, I got Page of Swords, immature words. Immature words coming in a physical letter, right? Coming in a physical letter. And what are they going to try to do? They're going to try to pull on those heartstrings. They're going to try to bring up the past. And they're going to try to, yep. So be mindful. Be mindful of that. Don't let this person manipulate you by bringing up the past and nostalgia. You know, straight up, you know what? I'll blast my business out there. I don't even care, right? So I had to file for child support this year, right? After 8 years of being divorced. Because my ex genuinely said that, I can't pay child support. You just have to have them take it out of my check for me, or I'm never going to be able to do it. If that ain't some immature bullshit, right? And the nostalgia, right? Oh, well, all these good times that we had, da-da-da-da-da. That's exactly why I took it out of the divorce agreements. I fell for that. I fell for somebody pulling up the past and trying to remind me of the good times and trying to pull on my heartstrings, and they made me take something out that I should have left in 8 years ago, and I wouldn't have found myself in the positions I am right now, right? So be mindful if that's something that you're dealing with. Don't let immature people use the past to play you, right? Right? Don't let immature people use the past to play you. And I do get a strong sense of pay attention to the mature people, the people who not necessarily have all their shit together, but at least act like adults. Right? At least act like adults. I don't know why this is so hard, but I swear if I see one more 40-year-old man trying to be a rapper or whatever, it's so silly. Yeah, there's grown-ups and there's children. If you want a grown-up life, then you got to find the grown-ups, right? And this is definitely, I feel, an energy for that's coming into play here, right? And this, I think, is going to be not just for one person or one individual who's dealing with these energies right now, but just in general in the world, that it's time for the grown-ups to start acting like grown-ups, right? I got the trust here, the wolf howling at the moon here. I get a lot of trust in what your heart's saying, right? Be wild. Don't be afraid of growth, right? Be wild. Don't be afraid of growing, right? And even when it comes to growth, right? Anybody who gardens knows it takes planning. It takes a lot for a seed to grow. And destruction for the seed is how the plant is created, right? And it's got to be buried in the ground, and a lot of seeds have to be frozen for at least 6 weeks in the ground before they will germinate in the spring, right? And if they don't get that freeze, they don't germinate, right? They have to go through the dark and the cold, and then they have to break out of the seed and then dig through the dirt themselves, right? And I also like to point out that seeds sprout roots first, ground down first, project up. When you were doing meditations, even that High Priestess card kind of shows that. Let's see if I can find her. Where is she? There she is. Ah! Cool, cool, cool. She's surrounded by some cool cards too. Right? So. Oh no, that's not the High Priestess. This is the... Alright. Queen of Cups. I'm going to get this with this Compassion card here. Right. Ground down, then project up. Visualize energetic roots going into the ground. There's a scene in that movie Lucy where she walks outside and she can see the energy rolling through the tree into the ground. That's what I visualize when I'm doing it, right? And you start at your heart center and then you ground it down, that energy into the ground, and then you project it up from there. You ground your roots into the ground and then you use your roots to pull energy from the earth to project up, right? And be mindful of where your heart is centered and where your focus is going, because where your focus is going is where it's going to get the attention. And if you want healing, then you need to focus on love and compassion, right? To focus on love and compassion. And this love and compassion card also states that you need to be mindful that you show yourself the same amount of love, compassion, and energy as you show other people, right? Make sure that you're showing yourself the same amount of love and compassion as you show other people, right? This serves nobody. Never has, never will. Never has, never will. This is drinking poison and hoping that someone else dies. This is nothing ever good has come from being vengeful, right? It's never helped the situation. It's never alleviated a problem. It's never gotten your ex back. It's never led to this. It's never led to this. It's always destroyed this. Pettiness, nastiness, trying to get back at people, sabotage. I mean, I don't know how many people I know, right? And that they will cut off their own nose just to spite the face, right? They'll be so vengeful in wanting to hurt someone. What was the one? It was a woman years ago that was in the group, and she was doing a lot of hexing. I call them shit witches, right? This is a shit witch. Do you know what a shit witch is? It's one of those nasty bitches that likes to poop in jars. They'll get a picture of you or your name or something like that, and they'll put it in a jar, and then they will crap in a jar and save it in their house. Is that not the most disgusting fucking energy on the planet? Stay away from shit witches, okay? Just stay away from them. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's like playing with fire, you're going to end up smelling like smoke. Playing with shit witches, you're going to end up smelling like shit. That's all there is to it. Don't be a shit witch. Stay away from shit witches, okay? That's my big message for this, right? These are nasty people. They manipulate, they control, they use people. They're narcissists. They'll use kids against you. They'll use, anything that they can get their hands on. They'll try to get, these are people who will mess you up in court and all kinds of stuff, right? These are people who want you to be sick. You got to cut off the cords to them, right? And also I like shielding and return to sender. I do. But at the same time, this will get you a lot farther. What? Feel bad for this person. I say this to my kid when he deals with these bullies on the online games and stuff like that, and they come in, they steal his stuff and whatnot, or they'll just do something really dickish for no reason. And I'll tell him, look, they wanted to upset you, babe. They just wanted to upset you because they're hurting inside, so they want to make you hurt, right? This person's life is bad enough. Their life is so bad that they're crapping in jars. Feel sorry for them because that's a sad existence. I mean, there's pain, there's being depressed, there's being, crying, there's all those energies, and it's okay to be mad. But just like you would use a sweet jar, right? Sweet jar spells where you put nice things in the spells and you shake them and you send love energy to it. They're focusing all that on jars full of crap. Right? And then they wonder why their lives are crappy. It's not your job to fix them. That's a big one too. It is not your job to fix them. Let's see, any final messages before we roll out? It's not what you called, it's what you're answered to. A lot of people accuse me of hexing people. No, honey, nope. I didn't hex you. Just stopped protecting you. Didn't hex you, just stopped protecting you. Anything else? When the debate is over, slander becomes the tool of the loser. Be mindful with the messages on who is giving you the message. Are they trustworthy? Do you know them? What would be their motives to lie? When the debate is over, slander becomes the tool of the loser. She only sleeps when it's raining. A lot of feeling like someone is worried about someone bringing up their past, someone that twists the past up, and they're going to lie about this person to try to get revenge on them. Right? I got two energies, right? And I had the two masculine energies, but it doesn't necessarily need to be masculine. But there's definitely two people. Somebody coming into a season of the sun. Somebody's coming into a tower. I feel like the person who's coming into the tower is going to start trying to cut their nose off despite their face, right? They're going to get so mad that their shit's falling apart that they're going to go out of their way to try to ruin other people's stuff, right? Especially if they sense you got something that you're happy about. I know that's so terrible, isn't it? I feel so bad for people who do that to themselves. Why? Why? And what gets me too is it's like if someone could have been struggling for forever and they finally get a touch of happiness, and then you'll get these assholes that are like, oh my God, they can't be happy. Why? Because I'm miserable. What? All right. All right, I got He'll Only Leave You Better Off. It's the first card that came out, right? And it's a Sarah Evans song. And it's like, if he's going to go, let him go. If he's going to leave, let him leave. If he's going to walk, let him walk. He'll only leave you better off, right? If someone wants to go, let them go. Someone wants to go, let them go. Right? I got There Goes My Baby. There goes my baby. Ooh, girl, look at you. You don't know how good it feels to call you my girl. Aw. You have to put your past behind you if you ever want to move forward. Our love is like the wind. I can't see it, but I can feel it. I ask for so little. Just let me rule you, and you can have everything you want. They say in heaven, love comes first. In the beginning, the universe was created, and this made a lot of people very angry and has been widely regarded as a bad idea. The Encyclopedia Galactica, in its chapter on love, states that it is far too complicated to define. The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy has this to say on the subject of love: avoid, if at all possible. I love that movie. I love that movie. If you need a good rom-com for the day, or just like a fun movie to watch, go watch Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Get a little bit of, I think perspective in the story of messages and things like that go along with this as well. Definitely. Alright, my loves. Alright, my loves. Blessed be all those who walk these weird and winding paths with me. I love you. I'll be back as soon as I can. I promise.